Termites. It's episode 51, and we didn't do anything special for 50. I don't know why. I don't know. Lazy, busy, whichever one sounds better per the conversation.
Shows.
Shows. Yes, and I just got back from Delaware, where I met two termites that they sent me a thing on Twitter, and they had their Midwest people, when you're at a ranch, be all like, bleh, and it's just two people dying. So I thought that was cute. They wore their shirts. So went and got them and met two termites in Delaware at an outdoor gig, which normally I would think would suck. Outside is never that good for comedy. But it was great, shockingly. And even if it wasn't great, I would tell you the truth, and I wouldn't blame the people. You have to blame the structure, because comedy, you kind of need, it's kind of an indoor sport. Music, outdoor sport. Ocean City, Maryland, that's where I stayed. That place is hopping. I went to eat here twice with my friend Kelly. If you saw the show, my friend Kelly McFarland, she's the opening act, and her husband Eric came down, and we went to Backshore Brewing Company 2 nights in a row because it was the thing that was really open late. But they make a mean club sandwich. That's what I would recommend, and they have delicious beer, and this is their blonde ale, and you can get them to go on the boardwalk. Nice. What's not to love about that, right? Love it. And the moon was out, the crazy moon, which then was affected by smoke too, so it turned super orange. Not that I'm rooting for global warming, but it's really cool when...
it's pretty. Global warming.
It was gorgeous. And everybody at the venue was so nice. And it was, I've never seen that much corn. They're very proud of their corn in Delaware. And in my Midwest mind, I think, that's adorable. They think they have a lot of corn. That's because they've never been to Iowa or Kansas, but you don't want them to feel bad. They're growing corn. And in their mind, like 2 acres, they're like, look at all this corn. I'm like, oh my God. That's like what an Iowa person would just run over with the tractor and not even feel bad about it. Yeah. They're really into chickens. If you ever I don't think of people in Delaware as farmers, and there was so much farmland. It was crazy. Because then parts of it are so overcrowded that you think they'd spread out into that cornfield and go, maybe I don't need to live right next to, Bob. Whomever. But it's pretty. Because I've only been to Wilmington, and that's downtown, so you can't really judge. You have to get out. And so cheers to you, Delaware people. That's very exciting. Up next will be Vegas. Very excited about that because it's hot as bananas here in the Midwest. It's like a hundo. And what I've decided to do is go somewhere hotter. Yes.
Shit, God.
I know. And then people are like, oh, are you going to go to the pool? No. Well, I'll be in the shade at the pool bar. If I'm out there, because they have spritzers. Even there, I can only last like an hour. I can't. I can't. Me in the desert. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name, and it's good to be, what's the line? Home on the range. I can't do the desert.
Home on the range.
I don't know. Whatever. Those people were all high as shit. Their lyrics don't even make sense. But good for them. As Rocky LaPorte would say, go for them. Go for them. So that's where I was. The traveling was absolutely awful. If you're going to go out there into the wild to airports and stuff, I call it pretend that you're going to be 4-star camping. Yeah. There's very few employees anywhere. Guy who checked me in at the hotel in Ocean City, from Romania, been here 3 weeks. Didn't really know what he was doing. But you know what? I thought, well, if I'd have been in Romania for 3 weeks, I wouldn't know how to check somebody into a hotel either. What are you going to do? Just prepare yourselves. Bring your little backpack of patience, because there's a lot. I was on Delta, asked for a vodka cranberry. She said, we don't have any cranberry juice. I go, okay, how about a screwdriver? We don't have any orange juice. Okay, this is like a juice guessing game. And she was very nice. And I don't know how all flight attendants haven't each murdered one other person. Not another flight attendant, but a customer. There's some really, really poorly behaved people out there. But this flight attendant was so nice. She's like, we just don't have any juice. Oh, okay, we could have started with that instead of making me guess drinks. But that's okay. I go, how about beer? Yes. She goes, we have beer. I go, great. Any kind. I'm not going to start the game. Do you have Miller Lite? No. Do you have Mick Ultra? No. I go, you just bring me your favorite.
Sweetwater, baby.
Sweetwater. Yeah, it's so fattening, but it's so good. Okay, termites, where do we want to start? Well, a few things that were sent. Mindy sent I think from New Orleans, sent me Nunzilla, which I used to have one of these, and I never tire of it. And if it works right, the nun should spit fire. Fire.
Oh, the nun's
Well,
tired.
she's not really wound up yet, but I love it. She will go right here.
She's
I had real nuns teach me. One was very, very nice. A lot of them got a bad rep. The other one, not so nice. Somebody sent me a giant Do You Have Any Ranch tumbler that I put on Instagram, and then the baby one, Mama Termite, came with it, and I love it. And it says Piper Lou, but I don't know if that's not who it's from. It's from Clayton, North Carolina, but it says the Piper Lou Collection.
Piper Lou's the company.
Piper Lou's the company, right. Yeah. So, but I don't know who sent it. And I feel bad. Maybe there was a note, but I didn't see one in the box. So anyway, thank you, Termite. Whoever did that, much appreciated. Already used.
Anonymous Termite.
Anonymous Termite, yeah. Right. AT. That was a fun little thing to receive. And then a woman named Heather sent me some crazy beers. I got to cool these down, though, before I try them. Weird and Gilly. Single cut? I don't know. Then the Cocktail Club. Orange vodka and soda. Yes, I'll drink that. But as a proper Irish person, I can only have one drink with white liquor. Otherwise, what follows is prison. This is black cherry vodka soda. Very good. I will be trying all that. And she sent me giant paper clips, which made me laugh because she's afraid I'm going to choke and die on a paper clip, which could happen. It could happen.
Yep.
These are pretty big. I get the oversized ones, though. All right, I think that's all that. Oh, and I just got a nice card. Sometimes people just send a nice card from Ellen in Seattle. Got your card, just so you know. Just want people to know I am getting these things, albeit a little late because I'm gone. Straighten baby shoe out. And what are we trying? Food, what are we trying? Wendy's spicy chicken Pringles.
Nice.
What? You know, it's bad enough there's chicken wars, but now we're trying to shove it in potato chips. Like, leave the chickens alone for 1 hour. Wow.
Good, right?
It's really good.
Nice.
I'm a Lay's potato chip person. Me and my dad will go down swinging with Lay's potato chips, but these are really good. And then I was like a Mitch Hedberg's joke. Do you think Pringles' initial intention was to make tennis balls? Something like that. Funny joke. Pretty good. If you want something different
If you don't feel like it's
for your Pringles, are you tired of your boring regular Pringles? Try them. I give them an A+ for what they are. Thought this was interesting. Mexican street corn Cheetos.
What?
Well, it's easy to mess up a Cheeto.
Yeah.
Cheetos are really good on their own. Wow.
Good.
Yeah,
Nice.
it tastes like street corn.
That's the intention.
Yeah. By the way, the Iowa termites that I met at the show, young termites, secretly kind of threw Delaware's corn under the bus.
Oh.
I know, but they may not. I don't know. Some of that's field corn. Some of that's, and you should go watch Greg Warren's special, and he'll explain the difference to you. But some of it's deer corn. It's not for people. And then
It's a weird color.
but it's like gray. Yeah, but the Iowa people should know that. They probably knew that. They probably just didn't like the corn.
I don't eat it.
Well, is it up to Iowa standards? I mean, come on. When that's what you do. Now this. Okay. This is our last tasting item. Tzatziki Ranch
Oh, great.
by Litehouse. Added sugar. That's what I'm talking about. I love tzatziki sauce. Love it. So I don't know how you could get this one wrong. And I will tell you if they did or they didn't. It probably tastes more like tzatziki sauce. Wow. That was really tangy.
You think all ranch is tangy?
No, I don't. Not real creamy, good original ranch. That is very good for something. I don't know what.
Great food.
Well, no, I just eat tzatziki. I don't need it. This is one of those things they may have jumped a shark.
Got it.
Yeah, tzatziki is great, ranch is great. Do we need to combine them? Maybe we're taking this too far.
Termite should vote.
I don't know. Well, the termites need to go taste it. It's tangy. It's good for something. I wouldn't use it as salad dressing. Maybe dipping. Dipping. That's what I would give it. I would say dipping. I have to leave my phone on, termites, because there's a leak somewhere in my yard and that person might call.
Leak in your yard.
Yeah, it's either gonna be the sprinkler guys. Catalina is Julio. You have a leak. Fuck. Those guys are so nice, and I give them tons of beer, and they couldn't be more appreciative. And we like to come to your house. Thank you.
Please come back.
Yeah, please come back. Please fix all leaks. The water bill just jumped by $300. How are we gonna divide that cost up, guys? We're not. Mama Termite's gonna pay for it, and you guys are gonna fix it. Okay, we have a lot of Queen news. Yes, Dolly has a new song to go with her what? Perfume. Remember when we talked about she has a fragrance? Well, it's out, and she has a new little zippy tune about angels and all kinds of good things.
Smelling good.
You're smelling good. Cher has been tweeting up a storm that she got to spend a night, not the night, but an evening, if you will, with her idol, Tina Turner.
Oh, nice.
All right? She tweeted, I just spent the last 3 hours of my life with my friend and idol Tina, the greatest performer, female performer ever, the ever beautiful and amazing Tina Turner. So good for Cher. Good for you. Good for Tina. You got to hang out with Cher. How excited is that? Because Tina's getting up there. I think Tina's 81, maybe? Let's giggle that. And Shaka sighting.
81.
She's 81. Yeah. Shaka sighting. Where? Newport Folk Festival? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Rhode Island.
Yeah. The Termite tweeted me that.
She left her house.
I think that's all my Queens update. They were very busy. Oh, the Cher and Britney thing. Let me see if I can find it. So it was so adorable. Well, I don't think I can find it word for word, but Britney said on Twitter, now that I'm all involved in Britney Spears' life, and I wouldn't even go to her show and given a ticket, I'd give it away. Or I'd sell it. Britney said if she ever gets free, what she would want to do is eat ice cream like in Tahiti, some island, with Cher, because that's who she used to dress up as a little kid. Saint-Tropez, yeah, that's where she wanted to go. And then Cher tweeted back, the minute you're free, guess what we're going to do, Britney? We're going to Saint-Tropez, and trust me, Cher can make that happen. So could Britney if she could get her goddamn checkbook back. And
Stop showing your boobs on Twitter.
Well,
It doesn't help.
that's the thing. Britney's doing a lot of Instagram pictures of her boobs, and everybody's free to do whatever, and I don't care if you want to post naked selfies all day long. But if you're in a battle about your sanity, how about we keep the Instagram to what does everybody love? Puppies, old people,
Beer.
kittens, beer, sunsets.
Yep.
Brittany, that's just a piece of advice from an older person. You clearly tired of old people. Update! Here we go.
Oh, Lord.
Subway, the sandwich shop, is very upset. First of all, as the termites who listen to this podcast know, Ireland ruled that their bread wasn't bread. It's more like fake cake. That's the best I don't understand science. But they did rule that it will not get the same taxes as bread. So if that was the first blow, and then that caught on, and then it was that the tuna isn't tuna, that it's like unidentifiable. So it keeps going. And if you've noticed now, termites, if you see Subways, they have giant signs outside, like new little banners that, things are changing and we're different. Subway urged a federal judge in California to throw out a lawsuit accusing the chain of deceiving customers about the content of its tuna sandwiches, wraps, and salads. In a court filing on Friday, Subway, here's the other thing. I love Arby's, and Kelly's husband, Eric, agrees with me. Kelly's like, it's a weird color. I said, yeah, I'm not even sure it's beef. No. But guess who don't give a shit? This termite.
Right.
I don't care.
No.
So if you like Subway, I never really loved it. The bread was too fluffy and my teeth don't meet right. I can't bite into it. It's a pain in the ass. I was never a big Subway person to begin with, but if you like the Subway sandwiches and they're tuna and it ain't tuna, as long as it's not bad for you, who cares? I'd still eat it, but whatever. In a court filing Friday, Subway restaurants said the plaintiffs offered no facts to support their frivolous claims that the products did not contain 100% sustainably caught skipjack and yellowfin tuna, or might have contained tuna from anything less than healthy stocks, for example, albacore and tongol. Subway said the plaintiffs' lawyers should be sanctioned, calling their conduct frankly outrageous. Those lawyers did not immediately respond. The lawsuit filed in January by Karen so-and-so said Subway's products were completely bereft of tuna and concocted to imitate the appearance of tuna, so Subway could charge premium prices. An amendment complaint on June 7th removed the no tuna claim but maintained Subway's malicious labeling, marketing, and advertising of its tuna products was false and misleading. Subway said the negative media attention from the lawsuit hurt thousands of franchisees by depressing sales of a best-selling product. Yeah. Subway recently had more than 37,000 worldwide locations, including 24,000 in the United States and Canada. Well, a lab analysis of Subway tuna purchased in Los Angeles could not pinpoint a species of fish, meaning the contents were heavily processed or contained no tuna. Well, I don't know how you can argue with science. I mean, they revamped its menu this month, but made no changes to its tuna, saying an upgrade wasn't needed. Well, we'll see how that all ends up. But I say, if you like their tuna sandwiches, keep eating them. Who cares? Who cares what it is, as long as it's not bad? But that's not a very healthy thing to say, is it, Kathleen? No, it's not. But, you know, you're not, as long as you're not eating it every day. Update! Brittany. There's so many every week, I don't even know which one to pick. But this one is Get My Girl Back. Britney Spears' agent, Cade Hudson. Speaks on abusive conservatorship after 12 years of silence due to threats from Jamie, the dad. Let's see what the agent has to say. Cade took to his Instagram to say enough is enough, and he got thousands of death threats from Britney fans who accused him of brainwashing her. Listen, there's no agent on earth.
They can brainwash you.
No, they could brainwash me? No. No. Maybe a manager, but an agent, they just book stuff. I mean, they do a great job. They do their job. It's not that in-depth, though. I've kept my mouth shut for 12 years plus on Brittany. Enough is enough after getting water bottles thrown at my head in bars from bystanders telling me I'm brainwashing her.
Come on.
I'm now speaking up. In a lengthy post, Kate advocated for Brittany to be released from her conservatorship and opened up about what led to her breakdown years ago. Brittany, who was accused of some errors as a new mom at 26 with 100 cameras in her face daily waiting to document any wrong she moved. She gets placed under new. Oh, he's not writing this right. He's saying she was a young mom. She made mistakes, but did she need to? Right. Sexism at its best. There's a violation of someone's basic human rights that they were taken away. I've kept my mouth shut for fear of losing my job as her agent and losing the career I worked my ass off for 15 years to build out of threats from the man we all know who. But I won't even dignify mentioning his name. I'm officially done being quiet. The agent talked about the real Brittany, who was loving and charitable. Kate also called out the one person who supported Brittany, but was also silenced. The system and the public failed her. Well, here's the thing. I'm part of the general public. As soon as I knew about it, I tried to get the word out, free Brittany. I mean, what else do you want me to do?
Hashtag.
What else? Well, how about those kids out there with signs and shit? Good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what happens when you're young and you don't have a job. You're like, what are we going to do today? Well, let's go free Brittany.
Hey,
Yeah.
God.
Come on. Let's go to Walgreens and make some signs. Okay, great. But I mean, good for them. But the general public, what are we supposed to do about it? They tell her new attorney is the best of the best, and he knows that the work has just begun, but it's progress and hope, and that's all we can ask for until action is taken. I'll end with a few things. One person who was in her life, again, legally can't name names, was also silenced by the people around her. You silencers know who you are. This person has her best interest at heart. He finished by writing, "It's time to get my girl back. Even if you don't see it now, it will come out. To the ones who should be worried, you know who you are too. The nonsense needs to end and the healing process needs to begin. The Lord tends to pay those people back in his own ways." Oh, so the first time publicly I am saying free Brittany. The former Mickey Mouse Club has been more vocal on social media since scoring a big conservatorship win earlier this month. And then it's just what she's been posting, but they don't mention the thing about basically being naked. You know, just saying.
She's trolling her
No
sister.
moral judgment.
She's trolling her sister.
She might be trolling her sister, but you know what? You don't need to.
With her
This is what I grew up with a lawyer father. Just keep your mouth shut. Let the law do its thing.
And your
Stop
boobs on your
talking.
top.
Okay, we're moving on. That's all the updates I have, believe it or not. There's more Whitney ones, but you guys are keeping up with that, I'm sure. She's fighting. She'll get out of this. The biggest question is, will she be able to turn the tables and have conservatorship abuse charges filed and then win that?
Right.
That would be a big one. And then will she perform again? Here's what I don't understand. Why do you still have an agent if you don't have any shows? She hasn't had any shows in years. I think my agent would move on. If I said I'm not, she already said she's like retired. Like that's what she said.
Right.
I mean, good for him. Maybe he's got other clients and he's just got her on the
Maybe he's
the
on a
DL.
retainer.
She's on what is it?
Designated.
What is it? Baseball? You're on the DA.
The IR.
No.
Injured reserve.
Injured reserve. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's on the IR. Okay, let's talk about the Olympics for a minute, shall we? I'm not going to talk about Simone Biles. It's been talked to death. We're skipping Simone Biles. We're not going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about something a little happier at the Olympics, and then something that's complete bullshit. Here's the great news. If you're in Japan, I don't think any termites are in Japan. I sent a CD to one guy in
He's
Japan,
lost.
an American. No, I think he's doing a work gig or something, and then I promised it, and then I got to the post office, and it was like $8 million to mail a fucking CD that's worth $5. But he was appreciative, so I will not be mailing anything else to Japan ever.
Period.
Pizza Hut in Japan. I gotta say too, my one sister truly can't have gluten. Not like a new age thing. Like they have all these. Her and my younger brother have all these stomach problems and all this crap. So she's a gluten-free person, and I haven't had Domino's. I don't know, since I was probably 17, and she's got kids and all that. So we ordered a bunch of Domino's. It was really good.
Delicious.
People make fun of it, and Pizza Hut too.
Yeah.
They have thin pizza now. All these little guys really came along. Anyway, Pizza Hut in Japan.
Little guys.
Yeah, I mean they're old school. I don't know. You just think Pizza Hut. I think of when I was a kid, but they have really good new stuff. Anyway, Pizza Hut is offering the Decathlon pizza with 10 types of meat.
Oh.
I know. Here's what they say. Each ingredient exerts its own power, says Pizza Hut Japan, who also assigns such qualities as stamina and toughness to meaty toppings, including, here's what it is. Well, wait, I'm going to tell you all 10 ingredients. Here's the complete list. So if you got one, this is what you get. Pepperoni, fine. Rough sliced sausage.
No idea.
No idea. Italian sausage, I understand that.
Okay.
Bacon, Iberian thick sliced bacon.
No idea.
Aged bacon, charcoal grilled beef ribs. No, I don't want that on the pizza. Bulgogi,
No idea.
teriyaki chicken, no.
Gross.
And pulled pork, not on the pizza.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was funny that they went for the decathlon. And I'll bet there's a bunch of young guys.
Korean. Bulgogi is Korean beef.
Korean beef?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
It's
I've had that with Lewis. I liked it.
Yeah, it's good.
Now, here's the craziest thing. I don't know if any of you guys you have to have noticed if you're watching the Olympics. I've watched some. It's kind of boring because you already know who won.
Yeah.
And the shit in the day, the thing where the horses walk sideways, stop it. Just stop it. And they fly those horses all the way to Japan. Yeah. And I think the better test would be there's one pony, you make it go. You don't get to bring your own pony. No. I don't know. I know that's a whole world, dressage, horses, but
Dressage.
dressage.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me say it as if I'm French.
Dressage.
The dressage, or as we would say in the Midwest, the dressage,
Exactly.
as in the dressing.
Bruce Springsteen's daughter does it.
Yes, Bruce Springsteen's daughter does do it. But that's what rich people, I don't know, to me it's a rich person thing, because first of all, you got to come up with that pony. And then you got to
Right.
feed it.
Yeah.
Then you got to fly it. What's that cost?
A lot.
Fuck.
Freight.
What a waste. I don't know. I think it's an elite thing. It's way beyond any normal person. I don't know. I'll get yelled at no matter what I say, but it's boring as shit to watch, and I'll stand by that statement.
Yeah.
Because what am I supposed to be looking for? And then I did watch it, and they all did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Nobody got bucked off. Mm-hmm. No horses quit.
Nope.
I was hoping one of them would just go fuck it and stand there. Didn't happen.
Lay down.
This is what's completely bizarre, though. So when I first started watching it, I saw ROC, and I'm like, what country is that? Rock? Rock. What is rock? And then it's the Russian Olympic Committee. Mm-hmm. So here's the deal. And I'm going to read the story because I didn't get it. And they're just shoving it in everybody's faces. And, you know, this is what happens when you let Putin in and you let him have Sochi. And it was a terrible Olympics, and the International Olympic Committee is so corrupt to begin with. I wouldn't trust any of them. But then on this, okay, so anyway. 4 guys from Russia wearing Russian colors climbed to a podium to receive gold medals and listened to a Russian song right after a few onlookers chanted, Russia, Russia, the forever Russian chant. Russia, however, didn't win the men's gymnastics team event here on Monday. Nope, not at all. Russia? Never heard of it. Russia isn't here, or something like that. The International Olympic Committee officially banned the country from being here due to blatant doping scandals that date back to the 2014 Sochi Olympics. The IOC generally has the moral compass of a KGB hitman, totally. But even it couldn't ignore this. To recap the story, I didn't know this. I knew there was cheating, but I didn't know how. In Sochi, the Russians constructed a building adjacent to the drug testing lab and then cut a hole in the wall. Each night, after the lab closed, workers passed dirty athlete samples out and clean samples in. 2 predictable things happened. Russia won the most gold medals. Not a single Russian tested positive when they got done doping the Olympics. They then did the same at the Paralympics as well, which seemed particularly pathetic. Well, not if you're one of those Paralympians, because you still want to win. My friend Josh Blue has been part of that with soccer. Russia won the well, he didn't drug. I mean, I'm not saying he was part of that. I'm saying he's part of Paralympics. Russia won the most medals there too, of course, more than 3 times the next best country. The World Anti-Doping Agency eventually cracked the case, causing the man who orchestrated the scheme, Dr. Grigory Rodchenkov, to flee the United States, where he entered the Witness Protection Program, not before being featured on the Netflix documentary Icarus. I didn't see that. This was wise, because 2 of his cohorts turned up dead back in Russia, but that was probably just a, quote, coincidence. Anyway, this was so egregious that even the IOC decided it had to punish the Russians. So it did, sort of. Russia isn't here, but approximately 330 Russians are. If an athlete hasn't tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, then they are allowed to come. They are technically competing for the Russia Olympic Committee, which apparently the IOC thinks will confuse everyone. Well, I can tell you this, it confused this lady for a good hour. I'm guessing, I'm thinking, is there a country called Rock something? I can't remember. Roke, or is it Roche? Or I didn't go straight to the Google. I tried to use my mind, and it didn't work, because there wasn't a thing to be thinking of. Couldn't they at least have gotten created and dubbed the Russians Sochi Hole in the Wall Club, or Vlad's Not Here, or Mike Urazoni Says Hello, or something? Doesn't cheating on the world's visually impaired skiers and wheelchair curlers out of fair competition merit some trolling? Some of the IOC sanctions seem to be a bit ridiculous. The Russian artistic team is allowed to set its routine to a punk tune called With Russia from Love, but the IOC is cutting out the word Russia. It's like listening to Kanye on terrestrial radio.
Wow.
At the medal ceremony here, the Russian national anthem was replaced by Piano Concerto No. 1 by Tchaikovsky. I can't say it. Tchaikovsky.
Yep.
Right, Tchaikovsky. Don't say the T, Kathleen.
Tchaikovsky.
But I say Tzatziki.
Yep. Great
The Russian
verses.
composer. The flag raised was not the Russian flag, but one featuring waves of an Olympic torch, but using Russian colors of red, white, and blue. No Russian flags are allowed at any venue or the opening or closing ceremonies, but they can be hung about the Olympic Village. So there's that. Not that it matters. The Russians designed their uniforms to mimic the beloved tricolor. The flag is not allowed. We ourselves will be the flag. Rugby captain Elena Tyrone told Russian state news agency RIA. In Russia, the Olympics gold medal you. What?
Exactly.
We know which country we stand for, she said. Everyone does. A country that is adept at embedding spies in the highest level of government around the globe doesn't even have to be sneaky over here. The worst disguise since Clark Kent became Superman. It's the theme of the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other. It's a wonder Vladimir Putin hasn't shown up riding a horse shirtless through downtown Tokyo, but sporting a fake mustache and calling himself Vladimir Putin. The IOC's entire plan completely backfired. It certainly didn't keep the Russians out, and it certainly didn't shame Russia, where Putin has used the ban to pump up nationalistic pride. State-run media there decry the punishment using the classic three-pronged tactic of all caught aggrieved parties. And who does this tactic remind you of? First, you say we're innocent. Then you say, even if we are guilty, everybody's doing it. And then you say the world media is just out to get poor little victim us. Yeah.
Okay.
I can tell you, a politician that used that a lot. It works every time, from Montana to Moscow. In this case, it's made Russia's athletes arguably even bigger heroes. Russia is an expert at using propaganda. Sarah Oates, a professor and expert in Russian propaganda at the University of Maryland, told Yahoo Sport, this fits the Russians' constant us against the West narrative. Exactly. What is that going to die out?
Right.
You know, yeah. I don't know. Claiming the athletes were unfairly treated as further evidence how Russia is treated badly in the world. I'm so sick of the people that do bad shit. Then they get punished. Then they go, I'm a victim. Well, you're an asshole. Russia is their team, and you tend to support your team in the face of scandals. This could work to the Kremlin's advantage to inspire anger at the international community and bolster Russian nationalism. This being said, Russians are a pretty sophisticated audience and like to be somewhat cynical about their government. The truth is there wasn't much the IOC could do. Ignoring it would equate to condoning it, yet punishing innocent athletes seems unfair, which is kind of true. Gymnast Elena Gerzmova, for example, was 9 during the Sochi Olympics. It wasn't her fault. True.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
You can't help where you're born.
No. The original sin was granting Putin the Winter Olympics in the first place. He spent $50 billion to host it. And do you think he was just going to take his chance on winning the most medals? They're definitely not competing for Russia. No, not at all. Yeah, of course he wasn't. He was going to make damn sure they won everything because it's a home game. You got to win the home game. They shouldn't have given it to him. And how much money do you think was stolen or siphoned? Or
Billions.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're watching the Olympics, you know,
Yeah.
that's what rock is. You don't have to waste your precious time like I did. Okay.
I wanna rock.
News. This,
Yes.
well, as comedians, we always joke around that, like, whatever level you're at, if you want to get to the next level, you got to keep working real hard, and then you got to hope that the people at the level above you die, or you got to kill them. Like, I used to joke, and now he's dead, which is very sad. It actually was really upset me. My BFF, John Panette, he would get more corporate gigs than I would get because he's just more popular like that. And quite frankly, he's better at them than I was. I'm good, but he was great because his jokes were totally appropriate for anywhere. But I used to say to John, if I want to make extra money, first I got to kill you. But the joke is implying that once those people are dead, you get to move up to their spot,
Right.
or if they quit. But the dead part was funnier as comedians to ourselves. We're just joking amongst ourselves. Well, now there's a Whitney Houston hologram concert tour is heading to Vegas, and I think, wait so
what?
now
A hologram?
hologram.
Oh.
So now I got to compete with dead people to get the gig. Like, what if I want to work in this room? I mean, her room's probably way bigger than my room, but I don't know, the Mirage I work is like 1,500 seats. What is it? So this is what's going to happen. And I saw the hologram.
Spooky.
Creepy. Creepy. I love Stevie Nicks, but when Stevie Nicks dies, that's it.
Yeah, we're
It
good.
was a thing. It's done now.
Yeah.
Let Stevie go. I don't know.
Unless she's on PBS.
Well, I'll watch the old concerts. The Whitney Houston hologram concert tour is expected to debut in Las Vegas this fall. Last week, the late singer's estate announced a U.S. tour, An Evening with Whitney, the Whitney Houston hologram concert. The 6-month show will take place at Harrah's. Oh, I know that. I know that room. I know that room because I used to work the Improv at Harrah's, and it's near that room. It's a much bigger room than the Improv, and it's a big Improv, like 400 seats in that Improv, I think. The 6-month show will take place at Harrah's, Las Vegas, starting October 26th. Tickets are on sale now at Vivid Seats and Ticketmaster. In 2011, Whitney and I discussed her idea of an intimate, unplugged concert tour. It was a project we called Whitney Unplugged, or An Evening with Whitney. Pat Houston, Whitney's sister-in-law, shared with Rolling Stone last year. While Whitney's no longer with us, her voice and legacy will live on with us forever. An Evening with Whitney is another chance for us to relive and celebrate the talent we were so lucky to receive for more than 3 decades. And we're excited to bring this cutting-edge musical experience to the fans who supported the pop culture phenom that was Whitney Houston because they deserve nothing less. Pat Houston is the sole executive of the estate. She managed Whitney Houston's career since the early 2000s and committed to upholding Whitney's legacy. Although there have been many entertainment deals pitched to the estate, since her death in 2012, Pat has stated that the hologram has taken precedence over everything. Before she passed, there was so much negativity around the name, it wasn't about the music anymore. People had forgotten how great she was. They let the personal things about her life outweigh why they fell in love with her in the first place. Now, fans can revel in a special show. It's going to feature a holographic recreation of Houston from all stages of her career. She will, quote, perform along live musicians.
What?
Yeah. Backup singers and dancers.
Oh my God.
She'll also be surrounded by special effects. The concert set will include some of the icon's biggest hits. It will include I Want to Dance with Somebody and I Will Always Love You. Wow. I gotta say, I still have my guys over at Harrah's, so they would probably let me sneak in the back. I would be curious. I want, maybe? Well, no, it doesn't start till I'm going there next, so it won't be up. But maybe the following time I'll be there. I would like to sneak in and see it, but look at it. But I don't know, I think younger people who are used to just looking at lots of fake shit, they'd probably not be as weirded out by it as I would.
I don't know.
Termites, would you do it? I don't. And the tickets won't be cheap. I'm sure they'll be like $100 at least.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be an expensive show. And I think it'd be even weirder to be a dancer.
Well, and how do
I have to dance with a hologram?
How do you talk to the crowd? You know, in between songs?
You can't talk to the
right,
crowd.
exactly.
No, it's going to have to be the musicians talking to the crowd. And then if I was the musician, I'd ask for more money. Oh, now you want me to be Jokey the fucking clown too? Well, then you're going to need to throw an extra $1,000 on the table. Mm-hmm.
No shit.
I don't know. It really, okay, this story. I will never find myself in this situation unless there's an unfortunate airline crash. Alaska man rescued after being stalked and attacked by a grizzly bear for a week. Okay.
Wait, what?
You heard me, Paddles. Here's the greatest thing.
For a week?
A week.
Wow.
I didn't understand. I mean, I did watch that Grizzly man, about that crazy man who eventually got eaten. Because we all knew that was going to happen.
He was nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not a scientist. Stop it. Stop. You're a person. Then he would go to LA and raise money to go back. And there was something. Anyway, I didn't realize that bears can be vindictive.
Yeah.
That they actually, I understand, upon meeting one by accident, bad things can happen. But I didn't think they'd come back.
Yeah.
Like I thought once they're gone, they're gone.
They're predatory.
They are predatory. A Coast Guard chopper rescued an unnamed person in Alaska who claimed he was stalked and repeatedly attacked by a grizzly bear for a week near Nome, Alaska. Now, I like that they put claimed. I mean, I understand it's a claim,
Allegedly.
but who would admit that? Like, I think he's telling the truth. A Coast Guard, an air crew was on their way to the city of Nome on the western portion of the state on Friday when they observed an SOS sign on top of a shack. They observed a man waving two hands in the air, which is considered the international distress signal, after circling back near the hut. When the crew arrived on the scene, the man informed them that he'd been attacked by a bear and needed medical assistance. He stated he returned to the hut after the attack, but the bear returned and harassed him every night for a week. One of the pilots told the New York Times that a bear had dragged him down to the river at some point. He was armed with a pistol. He also confirmed that the bear returned every night and that he hadn't slept in 6 days. Oh. I mean, he's alive, so we can laugh, but I would have, I mean, I guess he was too scared to leave. Yeah. Why not run away in the nighttime?
Well,
when do bears sleep?
No, they don't if they're attacking.
So the bear didn't sleep for 6 days and 6 nights?
I don't know that.
I don't know, but I can't. I'm going to dig deeper and find out how many injuries that man sustained and what the hell's really wrong with them.
Alaskan termites can tell us.
Okay, this is crazy too. Yeah, are there any Alaska termites? This is a crazy story, and I'm so excited. Oh my God. Then the first thing I had to do was Google this woman's age. Universal and Peacock closed $400 million deal for The Exorcist, for an Exorcist trilogy. 3 more. Wow. Ellen Burstyn to reprise the classic role. I thought, holy shit, how old is Ellen Burstyn? Because I watched that movie when I was 13, and I thought she was 50 then. She's very pretty, and I liked her because she reminds me of my mom. She looks like a lot like my mom. She's 88. What? I Googled it. She'll be 89 in December, and she's agreed to a 3-picture deal. Well, good for Ellen. I say, you go, girl. And you know what? I don't know. I never really... I'm sure she was on all kinds of other stuff, and she's probably a very serious actor, like a stage person. She seems to be very good at what she does, not like a...
88?
She's 88.
Wow.
This is crazy. This is what it's going to be. Universal Pictures and NBC Universal streaming service Peacock, in partnership with Blumhouse and Morgan Creek, have closed a reported $400 million plus deal to purchase worldwide rights for a new Exorcist franchise that will see Ellen Burstyn reprise her role as the mother of a demon-possessed child. Wow. Well, how old's her child going to be, 60? Or did she adopt a child when you're 70?
She's from Detroit.
She's from Detroit? Mm-hmm. That's probably why I like her, too. She's a Midwest person?
Yeah. She's great.
It's going to be directed by so-and-so, who cares? It will star Hamilton's Leslie Odom Jr. as the father of a possessed child who seeks out the aid of Bernstein's exorcist character, Chris McNeil, mother of the possessed. Regan McNeil, played in the original 1973 film by Linda Blair. Yeah, 1973.
Wow.
So I would have been 8. That's why I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it until I was like 13, and then I wished I hadn't done it then. Might have been 11, I don't know. I snuck it when my parents were gone, against orders. According to Universal, the franchise will encompass 3 films in total and is described as a continuation rather than a remake, even better, based on the 1973 original, which was directed by so-and-so and so-and-so. She did not participate in any of the previous and mostly panned Exorcist sequels or prequels, which included Exorcist 2, I didn't see it. The Heretic, didn't see it. Exorcist 3, nope. Exorcist, I didn't see any of these. The new film will be released theatrically in 2023. Wow. So, and the rest of it's just press about them, but that's just crazy. 88. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, she must be in just dynamite shape. And they must be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because there's also, people don't think about this stuff. I never did till, I don't know, got into comedy and all that crap. But you have to insure people.
Right.
Actors and all that. Because some of the funny people, I won't say stand-ups per se, but funny actors, back in the day, their drug use and, they were known for the party hard people. They were starting to not get insured to be in movies, and they're like, you got to clean your act up, or they don't want to insure you because you're a fucknut and you're out of your brain. So, to insure an 88-year-old lady, I don't know how that works, but good for them, and good for them for calling her.
Yeah.
She brings street cred. She brings the thing that'll make me watch it. Because the rest of them I didn't watch because she wasn't in them. Nobody was in them that was in the other ones. And then they all just looked like Friday night horror shit that teenagers want to see at the movies. I get it, but I wasn't into it. But good for them.
I'm sure she has a landline.
Okay, this, I don't usually talk about politics. I try not to because I think everybody's kind of overloaded. But this one, oh my God. So before Trump was nominated, when all the Republicans were on the stage, I used to do a bunch of jokes about how mean Trump was to Jeb Bush, right? He'd be like, "You're a loser. You're an embarrassment to your family." And then Jeb would just sit there, not retorting quickly enough and go, "Can he do that? He's doing it, Jeb, and he's gonna keep doing it. So you better think of something real goddamn witty or quit, because this won't stop. This is his calling card. He's gonna keep insulting you." So he even insulted his wife. He insulted Trump. He insulted Jeb's wife. He said, "Oh, well, Jeb has to be in favor of illegal immigrants because of his wife. She's Mexican, but she's legal." Like, and then he trashed him up and down. I Googled all the mean things Trump said about Jeb. I mean, he's slow. He's a stiff. I don't even know. I guess it means he's not fun to Trump. I guess you're just no fun. He's an embarrassment to his family. He's ugly. No, I didn't say. He didn't say that.
Ugly.
No, he didn't say that. So there's a young Bush. His name is George P. Bush,
A sapling.
who is the son of Jeb and his wife. And he's in Texas now. And I found it so, I don't know. To me, it's appalling. But it's not appalling if George P. doesn't like his daddy and his mama. If you don't like Jeb, and I can't remember what the wife's name is. If you don't like your parents, then have at it. But if you do like your parents and you'd like to attend Thanksgiving and all this stuff.
Her name is Columba.
Columba, yes, I've seen her. She's short and he's really tall.
Yeah.
So it would be like me and Ron White standing next to one another. She looks extremely short, even though she's probably not that short. But anyway, so George P., Jeb's son, went all in with Trump to get his endorsement because he's running for Texas Attorney General.
Okay.
And this has been going on for a while now, and I've been following it because I can't believe, like, if some guy trashed my mom up and down the boardwalk 50 times over and, "Your dad is a loser, Kathleen. Your mother is an illegal jackstrap," I would not then want his endorsement.
Right.
I would side with my mom and dad. But George P. did not. He went all in with Donald. And right when it came down to it, Donald Trump rewards George P. for his conspicuous loyalty by endorsing his opponent.
Wow.
Boom! Now what you say, George P.? You sold out mommy and daddy,
Yep.
and he sold you out.
Wow.
Yeah, he made the announcement. Trump made the announcement Monday night in one of his email statements. He now uses in place of social media, which he's been banned from. Endorsement of Texas Attorney Ken. He wants some guy named Ken Paxton. The Attorney General Ken Paxton has been bravely on the front line. Then it says, "Ken is strong on crime, border security, and the Second Amendment, election integrity, and above all, a Constitution. He loves our military. He loves chocolate ice cream and our vets." Okay, I made up the ice cream part. It's going to take a patriot. Like, I'm reading his statement. Like Ken Paxton to advance America First policies in order to make America great again. Ken has my total and complete endorsement. I'm going to send him a stuffed teddy animal. No, I made that up too. Yeah, he said the rest of it though. He had tweeted at one point about George P. Bush. "This is the only Bush that likes me. This is the only Bush that got it right. I like him." But,
Well, that's nice.
yeah, and he was shaking his hands at some event. So, lesson learned, children. Lesson learned. If you're going to sell your parents down the river, make sure it's for a good raft. Because he just left you swimming in the Rio Grande by yourself. Now how are you going to go to Thanksgiving now? Embarrassed.
You're hosting your own.
Which, by the way, I didn't talk about what I was watching. There's a thing on Netflix called Sophie, and it's about a lady in West Cork, which I've been to many, many times. It's really funny because in Ireland, like when you're driving along the southwest coast, you'll see a little house like tucked away somewhere, and I would always say to Lewis, I'd like to have one of those like for the summer or for a year. And he's like, are you crazy? You'd be a raging alcoholic within a week. There's not enough social activity for you here, Kathleen. And I'd say, maybe I would just read, Lou. Maybe I would do quiet things. He's like, yeah, for an hour. And then you'd be busting at the seams. And I said, yeah, you're probably right. But in theory, but also in the winter, it can get very scary out there because the winds howl and you're by yourself.
Yeah.
But I never, ever, ever would have thought about getting murdered. I would have thought about ghost. Not even animals. There's no dangerous animals.
No.
Just sheep, ponies.
Lots of
nice
sheep.
Animals. Ireland has nice animals. But this is about a murder, and she was a French. She was a François, Sophie.
She's a Frenchie.
And she rented a little house, or she bought it, I don't know. But she would go there by herself a lot. And she gets murdered, and it's about who did it. Do we know who did it? And I think they show who did it, and I can't believe the guy got away with it. It's definitely a good, it's 3 episodes, so it's not forever. And I haven't gotten to go to Ireland in so long, I miss it, so it makes you feel like you're there kind of in a good way. But check that out. I did really like it, and I'm very excited because there's a new podcast about, I never say her name right, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
Audible keeps retweeting it. Ghislaine. But I'm also reading the book about her father. Oh, wow. I can't review it. Audible. I'll find it. We'll put it in the show notes.
Okay.
If you guys are bored on a long drive and I'm not here to entertain you and you want something that'll really get you going. Here's another one, speaking of murders, that I knew nothing about. I'm like, wow, how did I miss this one? I know. I think I've done my job on the ID channel. I think I've done my job on 48 Hours. I think I've a Dateline. I watch them all. Never even heard of this man, Rodney Alcala, the serial killer known as the dating game killer. After he appeared on the popular game show in 1978, well, okay, I was young. Amid his killing spree, he had time to go on a game show. As all killers do.
Good for him.
He died at the age of 77, and there's a picture of this dude. And he has long gray curly hair, and he looks creepy as shit. I never even heard of this guy. California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation announced that Alcala died early Saturday morning at a hospital near, it doesn't matter, whatever. He was awaiting execution for his conviction of the 1979 murder of 12-year-old Robin Samso. That judgment was reversed in 1984 by the California Supreme Court, and he was granted a new trial. In 1986, he was sentenced to death for a second time for a murder. However, a federal appeals court in 2003 overturned the sentence, and Alcala was given another new trial. Jesus Christ. His DNA matched evidence in other murders, and Orange County prosecutors indicted indicted Alcala for the murders of 4 other women. Over the past decade, he's been charged in connection to 3 more murders, but his actual body count is believed to well exceed his convictions. Police estimated he, who often photographed his victims prior to killing them, murdered at least dozens of women, with some counts running as high as 130, and there are still over 100 photographs of unidentified women who may have been his victims during his killing spree and following his 1972 conviction for raping an 8-year-old girl, for which he only spent 34 months in jail after the victim's parents wouldn't allow their daughter to testify. That's ridiculous. Alcala was somehow recruited to appear on the 1978 episode of The Dating Game with the successful photographer, as host Jim Lang called him. Oh, he said he was a photographer. Serving as Bachelor number 1. I vaguely remember that show. Even I'm too. But I remember there was Bachelor number 1, Bachelor number 2, Bachelor number 3. And then they like interviewed him and all that. And then you pick one, you go out on a date. That's all I remember about that show.
It's like the new Bachelor.
I don't watch any Bachelor or Bachelorettes, anything. I don't know who these people are. Here's one reason I know. There was a show called Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire? And I won't say his name, but I was blow drying my hair to get ready for a show somewhere on the road, and it was just on the show. And I was looking at it, I guess. I wasn't watching it because I had the hair dryer on. I couldn't hear anything. Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire? a comedian I know who was my middle act a year before that was supposedly a millionaire. Really? I'm not going to say the guy's name.
Nope.
But that was, I thought, they're not doing background checks. He's no more a goddamn millionaire than I am.
He's been on TV.
This is like, we're working comedy clubs. Like, we were in clubs. Nobody, oh my, I was like, wow. But I thought, well, they're not really background checking, because I could have told you about my little buddy there. I always thought he was a little off, too. Yeah, because I thought, ooh, I don't know that I would go anywhere alone with that one. But thankfully for the Bachelorette, while she ultimately chose Alcala, she opted to not go on the date. After meeting him backstage, I started to feel ill. He was acting really creepy. She said, I turned down his offer. I didn't want to see him again. As revealed in a 2020 special that aired earlier this year, I'm going to have to go back and find this. Alcala's dating game appearance ultimately led to his arrest.
What?
Well, while police investigated Alcala for the death of Samso, one of the detectives happened to catch a repeat of Alcala's episode on television. That episode was later shown to Samso's friend Bridget, who previously provided them with a sketch of her friend's killer. So I had to go back to the police station. I think it was shortly after that sketch got faxed out, and they put me in a room, and they had a big TV, and they started the dating game. Samso's best friend Bridget told 2020, and right when I saw the three contestants, I said, that's him. That's him, no question. That's the man. And when I heard his voice, without a shadow of a doubt, this is him. How about the balls on this guy, though? Wow. You're out killing people, and then you're like, maybe I'll go to a game show. Yeah. Maybe I'll just put my face and my voice out there for the whole, as if they talk about taunting the cops.
Wow.
And what do we learn from this? What does Jack Madigan, attorney at law, say? Never snitch on yourself. I do not recall, and I need an attorney. That's all you need to say. And that's literally all you need to say. All right. Wow. This freaks me out, because I just, my parents would have never had this kind of money. And I don't wish this on the kids, but a pricey New Hampshire overnight camp was abruptly canceled after it descended into a fire festival-like debacle, complete with tales of fistfights, unsanitary meals, and mass vomiting.
What? Gross.
It's a kid camp. First of all, if someone would have said, are you being sent to camp? To me, that would mean I have to go set up the tent in the yard.
Right.
Or, I don't know, as my dad say, we're being sent to camp, but it would be all of us. It's not a kid. If we went camping, we didn't go, and I know now they have day camps and stuff that like available, but these, I started meeting like a lot of people on the East Coast, people that grew up with more money than we would have had. Camp was where they got sent.
Right.
For like the summer. I'm like, really? Your parents sent you away for the whole summer? Like, what's that cost?
Right.
I'm surprised my parents didn't look into it. How do we get rid of 7 people
Now.
for under $800? I didn't know people did this till I got into comedy and started meeting people from all over the place. And they're like, oh, where'd you camp? And I was like, State Park, Missouri, Public Beach number 2. They were like, no. They have real camps for kids. This is called Camp Quinnabarge. The directors told the parents who paid $3,400 for a 2-week stay to pick up their kids after only 6 days. $3,400.
Yeah.
That's $1,200 a week. Let's say divided by 6. It's $200 a day.
That's a lot of hot dogs.
You could also do what my mom did and just lock us outside.
True.
And tell us to go have fun and do something. She let us in for lunch. Well, really, she would just put it out there on the deck.
Like an offering.
Yeah, it's an offering on the deck. And like cats, we would just come up and wolf down. And a pitcher of Kool-Aid. This was, they had to go pick up their kids after only 6 days following a summer of challenges that drew comparisons to the infamous Fire Festival, the Boston Globe reported. The closure of the 85-year-old camp in Moultonborough, New Hampshire. was initially blamed on food supply problems, but parents later learned that the camp was reeling from a number of issues, including counselors who were quitting and getting fired en masse. Other problems included a camper who attacked both. I don't know why I think this is so funny. A camper attacked the staff and other children.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't feel sorry for the nice kids, but what's up with fucking crazy pants attacking everyone? Like what? Somebody, where's the American Airlines duct tape? We need to duct tape Bobby. He's going bananas. Dirty dishes provided at mealtime and reports of multiple children vomiting and being quarantined, according to the article. One child's letter home, provided to the newspaper by his father, read like a parody of a camping trip gone wrong, the outlet noted. We have been in tears, bored, and devastated the whole day. The camp director is lying to you guys, one camper reportedly wrote. You have to trust us. You have to. We're not joking and we're not having fun.
Oh, no.
I know. So many things are wrong with this place. More than a dozen parents, current and former staff campers spoke to the newspaper about the fiasco, which drew comparisons to the 2017 Fire Festival, which would be a would-be luxury Caribbean music festival that advertised luxury accommodations but delivered FEMA tents and prison food. The first signs of trouble reportedly emerged when Quinabarge suffered a hiring crunch as enrollment surged. Here's the thing. I've been out in the wild now for a little bit, and there's no employees anywhere. Prepare yourself, people, and do not put yourself in a situation where you are going to be dependent upon employees.
Right.
You just have to act like there's a good chance I may have to fly this plane. Now, here's the thing. I will call my friend Drew, and he knows how to fly a plane. But there's certain things you can't do, but there's a lot you can do. And Eric Carlson, and I feel sorry for the people that are trying, and then they're like, we can't hire anybody, and shit. Now, you know, we've got, 800 happy campers coming here, and one's going to attack us all.
Right.
And the rest are going to be writing nasty letters home to their parents. I don't like the food.
I hate everybody here.
But they are charging a lot. That's the thing. If you're going to be dog shit, you have to go, hey, we're down a few counselors.
Right.
It's kind of a take it or leave it deal. Send food with your kid.
Stay away from the weird kid.
Stay away from the one that's attacking people and growling. That one's off his rocker.
Big growler.
But you got to cut the money. You can't charge full price. If you tell them, tell the truth. It's half price because we got half the employees, half the food, half the this, half the that. You still want to do it? Yay or nay? Eric Carlson, the camp's executive director, sent an urgent email to parents 2 weeks before the children arrived to advise them of the situation. Okay. But is there a price reduction?
Right. Where's our coupon?
We are in desperate need of additional staff for this summer, he wrote, adding that 15 staffers had recently dropped or ghosted their jobs. How about in an email you don't say ghosted? How about you're writing this to adults that are going to be like, there's a lot of people my age that I get it because I'm running around with young people all the time. But yeah, anyway. I was hired about 4 days before campers arrived. MJ Lowry, a 21-year-old counselor, told the paper. They just kind of said, hey, you were referred. We'll send you the application. You seem to be qualified. Do you want the position? I played kickball and got to see the turtle and the frog in the pond and learned about tadpoles. It was stuff like that.
Oh, my God. Wow.
That was their brief training. One 19-year-old staffer, a former camper who had no intention of working at Quinabarge, said he accepted a last-minute job offer out of desperation. My options were either emergency housing or Camp Quinabarge, Chris Bigler reportedly said. Caden Grove, an 8-year-old, told the paper he was hit in the head with a wooden block by another camper who attacked Bigler, according to the report. Shock doesn't even begin to cover it, parent Rebecca Goves reportedly wrote to the camp. A broken dishwasher in the kitchen meant dirty dishes were given to kids at mealtime. Food prep counselor so-and-so reportedly said in an account, which Carlson disputed, a cook was fired after serving a staffer's child a mostly raw meatball. Mostly raw meatball.
Gross.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. What do you want these kids running around with mad cow disease? They're already attacking. Jesus Christ.
It's a horror movie.
Four children were reportedly quarantined after experiencing unexplained bouts of vomiting during the trip. Additionally, trans counselors said they did not feel comfortable at the LGBT-friendly summer camp, and several kids were withdrawn because their parents did not want them living among trans and non-binary campers.
That's a lot.
Well, how was this not said in the brochure?
Right. We have trans,
Yeah, if it's the day before Carlson asked his parents to pick their kids up, he emailed the parents telling them the past couple of days have been a bit rough. And meanwhile, there's just this kid going. But campers were overwhelmingly having a good time, according to the article. Carlson said the premature closing was related to delays with food supply and industry-wide staffing issues. Some parents interviewed by the Globe said they believed those reasons were excuses to justify a season plagued by deeper issues. We sincerely apologize to family and staff members who had their summer plans interrupted at a premature closure. He wrote in his statement, upon reflection, we know that camp is only good for kids if we can ensure their health and safety. Yeah, duct tape the attacker.
There seems to be one bad.
Just do what if it's good enough for American Airlines, we're going to duct tape Johnny to a chair till his parents come.
Till August.
And you can take the chair and you can take Johnny. And the duct tape was free. I mean, what are you going to do if he keeps attacking people? This is why, as soon as we finish our closing work for 2021, we'll begin preparing for summer 2022.
Oh, wow.
Well, they'll get new people. They're sucker born every day. Maybe they'll have their shit worked out by then.
Maybe.
I don't know. Let me see if I have one more story or not. No, all right, I'm going to do this last one because, well, first of all, this will be a show note thing. Paddles, your show notes are very good.
Thank you.
They don't need to be that good, though. Just go look at this picture because I thought it was so pretty.
They're inclusive.
They are inclusive.
Yeah.
A large, colorful fish washed ashore on the Oregon coast last week in what aquarium officials called a rare occurrence. The 100-pound opa fish, also known as a moonfish, was discovered on Sunset Beach in Seaside, a city on the northwest side of the state. The fish is rare to the Oregon coast. You got to see how pretty this thing is. It looks like a giant, something you'd have in your little tiny aquarium, but you would never think could get this large. Mm-hmm. The colors are, they never show up like this. Unfortunately, it was already dead. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool fish. We don't normally see them on shore. It's pretty exciting for the locals. Toward the belly of the fish, silver shades to a rose red dotted with white spots. Their fins in their mouth are red and their large eyes are encircled with gold. Due to the condition the fish was found, it believed it had been on the beach less than an hour before the aquarium staff got a notification for it. Unfortunately, it was washed up, not living before, but we got to it before the birds did. It's just something to go look at. It's being stored in a large freezer. They're going to get all the data. Well, it's super weird, though. Like, why would it be there? It's another thing, like, whatever. And then this story. This
2020.
Put it up to 2021, 2020. Everything's just bizarre. Snake farm.
What? Hey, wait, what?
This is, again, I think it should be a little more difficult to have crazy pets.
Oh, God.
You got to show you really want it. A little more licensing, maybe the licenses need to be a little more expensive. A Bergen County condo owner was taking out the trash, in a condo, when he got a frightful scare. On top of the garbage bin was a 10-foot-long snake. The live but lethargic python had a fresh wound on its head.
Lethargic python?
Yeah, it had a fresh wound on its head. Its eyes were red and bloody. Police quickly found Derek McGuire, a former track star and field star turned bodybuilder who lives in the Mawa complex. McGuire owns and operates an online business called Jurassic Park. Run from his basement, it breeds and sells pythons. The entire episode was a sad and unfortunate situation. He clearly didn't mean to scare anyone. I had 9 snakes that had a virus. There's nothing you can do for the virus. I talked to some of the biggest breeders in the country. They said the least pain for the snake was to hit it over the head and crush the brain. I didn't do it right, and it didn't die.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So then he threw it. Then he threw it in the trash.
Oh, God.
As he was moving the animal, the people that came to get out of the trash, we were able to observe what appeared to be a fresh wound on top of its head. There was blood on top of its head, and its eyes were also red and bloody. The snake was lethargic as well, as the temperature outside was approximately 60 degrees. The TYCO officer stated The top of the head felt soft, as it had been struck with a blunt object. She also stated that the animal was either a reticulated python or a ball python. As of last year, the story says Jurassic Park boasted 30 full-size snakes and another 10 growing amid plenty of eggs. He breeds them in his basement in plastic bins. They're featured on YouTube. The Mahwah police report notes say he's received summonses for abandoning a sick or disabled animal, failing to provide a living animal with care, and inflicting unnecessary cruelty following the May 3rd incident. No, Fish and Lyle, he said, I love my pets. I wasn't trying to do anything. It was just the best thing possible. I don't know. I don't want to live. It's just me. If I'm going to buy a condo or rent a condo, especially if I'm paying HOA dues, what? I need to know if the person below me has 30 snakes.
Yes.
Because I'm not, that should be in disclosures. Because I ain't doing it. And I know there's a million people, some very good friends of mine. Kathleen, you're just unnecessarily worried. Maybe it is irrational, but it's a fear.
Yeah.
And I don't want to live by it. So there's a little something for you, termites. There's another snake one, too. I don't have it right now. I don't know what I did with it. Another one that went wacko. Okay, termites, this has been good. I hope everybody has fun. Shout out again to Delaware, to the Freeman Arts program. That was a really fun show, especially for outside. I really thought it wouldn't be. Not bad, but it's just never as good as inside. And
who's coming to Vegas? Vegas? Nashville?
Vegas. Oh, Vegas is next. Then Atlantic City. Then my nephew's wedding in St. Louis. You're not available. You can't come to that.
Boston.
Boston, 2 shows. Foxwoods, a casino, 1 show. The Ryman in Nashville. That's a big one. The Mother Church of Country Music. I'm surprised they're even letting me in.
Are you going to sing?
I'm not going to sing. Maybe I'll do my Randy Travis at the end. Probably not. No, I won't do that joke here. Not at the Ryman, I will not. Now, I'm very excited about that because that's a big deal, and it's like a monument. There's certain things in your career where you just go, okay, I've never done this, and you know you're working your way up, and it's nice. So I'm excited about that. And opening acts, yeah, we got Chuck, the hilarious Mr. Chuck Martin will be coming to Vegas. Kelly McFarland will be with me again in Atlantic City. Aaron Weber will be the opener in Nashville. Kelly will be doing Boston and Foxwoods because Kelly's from Boston, or that's where she lives now. And that's it, termites. We'll see you next time. And how are we signing off? Oh, t-shirts. Ranch t-shirts. They're being ordered today. Promise. I know I'm bad with that.
Tour ones.
The tour ones, yeah. Do you have any ranch? They're not new Pubcast t-shirts. Those will be in the fall. One thing at a time. It's very confusing. I'm not a merch person. I have to, how many smalls? And then, America, could we have a talk about sizes? Cut back on the Mexican street corn Cheetos, according to what I'm reading. Well, how many I call them times. I don't know what they're really called. How many 4 times are you gonna have? Four. 4 times. I'm still talking about the smalls for my nieces. What about the medium women's for me? It's so much. It's like, well, you're gonna have women's cuts, you're gonna have men's cuts. No matter what I do, it's inevitably
Bad.
wrong and bad. What do you mean you ran out of mediums? You guys said you wanted larges. Jesus. So I'm just ordering a shitload. And if I get stuck with them, so be it. I will send them out as presents or some freebies, you know. And that's it. Get your Wendy spicy chicken Pringles. You'll love me for it.
Are you going to do a bobblehead?
I'm not doing a bobblehead. They're too expensive. Lewis and Ron have more money than I do.
Okay.
Somebody made me one. It was very nice. Looked just like No, no, like the initial cost of those is like $1 billion, and then you have to sell them for $1 billion. The smartest person ever in the history of merch was Bill Engvall, and he had a piece of paper that said, "Here's your sign," and he sold it for $1. And they're easy to travel with. T-shirts. You know who's the greatest at merch? Carrot Top.
Oh, yeah.
Because he loves doing it, and he likes creating, he likes designing, and he's got everything. I just look at it and go, oh. I'll be at the bar. That's what I look at when I see his merch setup. I just go, oh God, look at all that work. Okay, termites, that's it. Night, night, termites.